Tom Turner. I am, what do I do here? Formerly president of the company. Haven't given myself a new title. We just announced the president of our company to replace me. And I'm from Tifton, Georgia, South Georgia, small town just about 3 hours south of Atlanta.
My name is Justin Moses. I'm the culture warrior here at DSI as of a couple of weeks ago. I'm from Nashville, lived here pretty much my whole life.
When we first started the process, I didn't remember that Align was something that we were going to have to do, and wasn't frankly looking forward to having to use the software on a day-to-day basis. What it's allowed me to do is every single day to log that one thing that is the most important thing that I have to get done for that day. There are also a handful of people that I meet with every 2 weeks in my 2-week top task meeting. It provides great transparency in terms of me being able to see any type of progress. There's a top priority calendar and seeing how they're doing in terms of completing their top priorities for the day or the 2-week top task that we get agreed. And everyone in the company has access to everyone else. So it goes back to that culture of accountability. It not only am I holding myself accountable, but it allows me to help hold others accountable and for everyone else to hold me accountable, to see what my progress has been. It's amazing the impact that it has on a day-to-day basis. Just putting down that one item that you need to get done, and then at the end of the week or at the end of the month going back and be able to look at the calendar as a whole and see how many green days you have versus how many red days you have. And I don't care who you are, nobody wants to see more red than they do green. So committing to get those top priorities done, also being able to log in at any time and see how we as a company are doing in terms of achieving our goals on our one-page plan, having that shared so that everyone can log in and see who we are as a company. So we've incorporated now in our hiring process an introduction to the Petra process and the Rockefeller habits and what that means and what they can expect. And we also go through a DSI mantra that shares what the vision of the company is, who we are. We also go through our one-page plan, our 3 to 5 year, and our 5+. So everyone has the ability to sit down and see what our strengths, our weaks, our opportunities, our threats, what our revenue goals are, what our profitability goals are, and how we're doing in achieving those goals. So it creates, again, alignment and transparency so that everyone in the company, to a certain extent, has the ability to perform and see as an owner, to see like the same types of information that I get to see.
You end up being your own micromanager because you've set your task in a line, you've set it up, you've set your dates next to what you need to get accomplished when, you have your 2-week top task to keep you aligned, to see if you need to change anything, but it's given you the freedom to go about your day making sure that you get your priorities done, get your tasks done, but in a way to where you know someone's not breathing down your neck to get it accomplished. You take ownership in it, and that's what the Petra process does. Is you've created these tasks yourself; they're yours, and if you don't accomplish them, it's because you either didn't set them up right or it was the wrong goal altogether, but it's on you, and it's not something coming down from management going, hey, I need you to do this and get this done, have it on my desk tomorrow. No, it's, hey, I want to take ownership of this, I want to do this, I'm going to get this done, and it's for the betterment of the company. So when you're kind of managing yourself and getting your tasks done, that's the motivation, and that's what gives you the freedom to go about and get it done.
It got to a point when I was coming to work every day, I was banging my head against the wall. And Andy basically was saying, man, I can help you with this. I can help you with this. And as the owner of the company, it had gotten to a point where I was very dissatisfied with our company, our culture, who we were, what we were doing. We were growing, as Andy said, we were growing at about 35 to 45% per year. And Andy said, your people, your revenues are growing, but your people and your processes aren't growing. And when it clicked with me. I said, that makes a lot of sense. I'm good at growing revenue. If you can help me with my people and my processes, let's do it.
The impact that Petra has had on this company is growth. I've had the joy of being here for almost 5 years, and transferring from the old office to the new office, but really the transfer of before Petra and after Petra. Having our goals set out for 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and at first you're kind of like, okay, 3 years, I don't know if that's gonna pan out, but then you actually see people achieving their priorities and the quarterly priorities getting done, and then you're hearing the updates and transparency of where the company was and where the company's going, and it's energizing. It's great to see that, and to be a part of that growth is something special.
The biggest differences I've seen in our business since we've engaged working with Petra have been alignment with our company. The feedback has been from our company unilaterally. I've heard from people to say that bringing Petra on board is one of the best things that we've ever done for our company. We're a 16-year-old company, and so to hear that when a lot of our employees have been working with us for 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 years was really reassuring. But getting everyone aligned and rowing in the same direction, it was interesting. As we've grown as a company, we've today got so many different departments that are doing different things. And as the owner and as a leader in the organization, I had a good grasp, I felt like, of what everybody was doing and what their roles were. I felt everyone else probably felt the same way, and really learned through the process that this department is not necessarily have a really good understanding of what that department's doing, or the decisions that they make, how they impact another department, or how they impact the company as a whole. So us meeting quarterly, 4 times a year, getting everyone together, agreeing on what our company priorities are, getting our individual priorities aligned with the company priorities, and really moving in the same direction, I think that's what's had the biggest impact.
Almost a year ago, speaking with my wife, when another coworker was hired on as director of employee happiness, and I'm going, man, that's my role. That's what I need to be doing. I need to be helping people and helping people maximize their potential and reaching their fullest. I mean, that's the coach in me, and that's the passion. And I think once I started working on these themes and some of the culture aspects here in the company, the executive team noticed that, and they started implementing new things, and noticed my growth and wanted to put me in that position because they felt that that's what the company needed. And thank God that that's what they did, because now I'm here in this role and helping people achieve goals that they never thought they could achieve.
The biggest differences I've seen in myself since implementing Petra is really, frankly, just a commitment from myself to be better. I log into Petra every single day and use the Align tool just like everyone else does in the company. So I have to hold myself accountable, and everyone else gets to hold me accountable through the process. But frankly, it's changed my life in terms of not only the Petra process, but the Rockefeller habits as a whole, my daily schedule, what I'm doing, really breaking my time down, making time for myself, challenging myself to be better. I mean, as simple as that seems for me to be today, 45 years old, and to feel like I've finally figured it out. I feel like working with Andy and his team has helped me to push myself harder to be the best that I can be in everything that I do on both a personal development level and a professional development level.
Before Petra, I hate to say it, but it was more stagnant, the work that I was putting out there. You go through day to day, and you do your to-do list, you get it done, and you're kind of cruising. You're like, hey, I did the same thing I did yesterday, and we're cruising along, payday's on Friday. But with Petra, and you have those two-week top task meetings, and then you have your quarterly priorities, and you've written those out specifically detailed to know what you need to hit. And if you're hitting those and reaching those and staying green within a line and getting those accomplished, then it's a motivation. It's you're getting it done. You want to be green. You want to continue to achieve your quarterly priorities. And if you're able to do that, it's rewarding. So then you're leaving each day knowing, hey, I did something to move the company forward. And each day you can move the company forward is a great day.
Challenging myself to be better. I mean, as simple as that seems for me today, 45 years old, and to feel like I've finally figured it out. I feel like working with Andy and his team has helped me to push myself harder to be the best that I can be in everything that I do on both a personal development level and a professional development level. I had been to see Vern Harnish do a presentation years before we started using Petra, and we had implemented ineffectively some of the recommendations from the Rockefeller process, one being the huddle. So we were doing the huddle, but it ran long, we didn't have great attendance, it was only 2 days a week as opposed to 5 days a week. And so really ultimately we just told the company this is something that we're going to do. We had our first meeting with Andy, he came on board. I think everyone's seeing day after day after day after day that this is not going away. We're going to be doing the daily huddles. We're going to be looking at priorities. We're going to be doing the 2-week top task meetings. We're going to be in the huddles going through the process of what's your update, what are your stugs, what kind of progress are you making on your priorities. And it took time and it was a commitment from us to do every single day, but I think slowly everyone really began to drink the Kool-Aid once they began to see the benefits of us going through the motions of going through. And some of the people were absolutely going through the motions, but in the process of going through the motions, they began to pick up momentum because they saw, hey, this really does work. And so it was just, frankly, it was leadership, top down. This is something we're going to be doing it. I remember in one of our very first meetings, one of our former vice presidents had said, oh, I've seen this before, these never work, we have this kind of off-site planning, and then everybody goes away and we never do anything with it. And we established in that meeting that that's not what we're going to do. We are committed to this, we're committed to this for the long haul, and dig in because it is going to be us in the future as a Rockefeller company. You know, one of the things I've learned through the process is the importance of writing down a goal, breaking down the steps that it's going to take to achieve that goal, and then sharing that goal with everyone else to help hold me accountable to that goal. It's frankly it's not anything I've ever done before in my career. I was never a very goal-oriented person. I just said, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to work to get there. I had a Mount Everest, but I never identified the steps, and if I got lazy or uncomfortable, it may or may not ever get done. This process has helped me as well as the rest of the organization. In fact, one of the things that has spun out of this is we've created a program called Discover You. And the program is open to anyone in the company. It's not mandatory. But really, we've taken the idea behind the Petra process, the Rockefeller Habits process, and we've put it more onto a personal and professional level where we're trying to engage and motivate, challenge our employees to achieve personal and professional goals. It may be something as simple as losing weight. It may be paying off a car. We've had one person that wanted to learn Swahili or play the guitar, but we follow that process that we've learned from Petra, which has been, what is your goal? Write it down. Write down the steps to achieve that goal, and then share it with the organization. And we're going to help you on a day-to-day basis, push yourself, motivate you, encourage you, ask you how you're doing. And we've had tremendous success with that. I've had myself personally, and we've seen the company as a whole as well.